UFC Fight Night is returning April 21st, which is a Saturday. You've got another stack card in Atlantic City. It'll be at the Boardwalk Hall. And I'll tell you, one of the most feared strikers out there, Edson Barboza, joining us. He's taking on Kevin Lee. And when I say he's one of the most feared strikers out there, trust me on that, he is. But appreciate a couple moments. And I know you've been making the media tour. So we said before we were coming on, I know you had to eat a little bit of lettuce, right? Because you're cutting weight. So we try to get you, we're not going to hold you too long, but we appreciate you swinging by. How's everything?
Good. I'm very happy with the opportunity, and I'm happy to be here.
Good. All right, let's get into a couple things. Now, you've been a pro for a while now, and I guess it's probably, kind of a softball question to start, but what made you want to become a fighter?
Man, it's funny because I never do nothing in my life. I just fight. I would start training with 8 years old, when I finish the high school. I don't know if I go fight or go to the college, but my family don't have the money to pay the good college in Brazil. I'm still fighting. And I do this my whole life. I never do nothing in my life. I just fight.
Did you get in a lot of trouble growing up in Brazil? Did you get in a lot of fights?
Not really. Like I said, I start training with 8 years old.
Wow. So you had discipline early on.
Yeah, discipline on, and thank God I'm a nice guy. I never get trouble in my neighborhood. Everybody knows me. Everybody respect me.
Well, probably now if you go back to it, they're not going to mess with you, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I always appreciate from fighters, whether it's kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, mixed martial arts, there's always this level of discipline that you have to have as a fighter. And I asked you too, and I joked with you that you have to cut weight. Obviously, you'll fight at 155. You said you're right around $180 or so. So, talk a little bit about that discipline, and you guys know exactly what to do to fine-tune your body, but how hard is it to really be disciplined day in and day out?
Yeah, especially when you're young. When you're young, you think, okay, I eat everything and make weight always. It's funny because I was 32 in my first professional fight in Muay Thai. I fight 155. And this, I think, almost 13, 14 years ago.
Wow.
And I still fight 155.
Wow.
And
so you've never had a problem?
Never.
Because a lot of times guys will grow out of their weight class, especially in boxing, they'll grow out of their weight class, and sometimes even in MMA. As guys mature a little bit, maybe they think right away they can go from light heavy to heavy. They can put on another 15, 20 pounds. So cutting, it's never been a problem for you.
Yeah, thank God. Never be a problem to me. Like I said, I'm a very disciplined guy. I try to do everything right.
I know you won 6 out of your last 9, so you got a little momentum coming into this fight. The one thing I've noticed about you, and I said this too, I think when we go back, a couple of the fights when you were on the Ring of Combat I might have called, so definitely obviously familiar from what you're doing with UFC, but the fact that you are one of the most feared strikers, that always you got to really garner a lot more respect from your opponents, because they know whether it's 5-5s or not, you can end the fight quickly or you can grind it out. Is that your striking game? Is that something that you've always pride yourself on, that you're able to end a fight quickly if need be?
Yes, I train very hard. I always, especially for this fight, it's a 5-round fight, and I train very hard, man, very hard. I know I can finish the fight in 1 second. I can finish the fight with 45 minutes.
You get more satisfaction from grinding it 5-5s in a 25-minute fight, or trying to end it early?
Man, I love to fight wars. Every time I step in Octagon, you guys see a big war, and I love to go there and show for you guys a big war. That's making me very happy when I go there. A lot of blood, a lot of punch in the face. That's making me happy.
And again, how about the fight, Paul Felder, who we saw before with the UFC, CFFC, hell of a fighter. And then I remember the fight before he got signed was a spinning back kick. That's one of his in his repertoire as well. You guys fought. You guys had a great fight in that one, and that was a grinded out fight where Dana White even said, "Hey, hell, this is one of the fights of the year here."
Yeah, I remember that fight. That's a crazy fight. It's a really big war, like a 15-minute war. Funny because in a couple months he started training with me, start training together, and it's funny because you guys watch only 15 minutes, and I have to spar with that guy like 3 times a weekend. Imagine I would spar with him for many rounds, really hard. He's such a nice guy. He's my friend, and he's doing great. His last couple of fights, he's looking good. He's looking better and better.
Yeah, he's got that personality that fits, right? Because we know this, and anything, especially with the UFC, any combat sport, they want personality, right? They don't want someone. They want a little cockiness, a little braggadocious. Even if someone's a soft spoken or not, their actions speak, loud in the cage, right? So, is that something too with yourself? Because now you are known as a feared striker when it comes to the strikes and the kicking game, sensational finisher. That's kind of your MO. I mean, that's kind of when people bring you up right away. Hey, this guy, you blink, that fight can end. I mean, that's a great selling point for yourself. I mean, that's something that they use to their advantage. Certainly, what the UFC is doing here.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked to my daddy a couple of days ago about this. My daddy said, "Oh, some guys need to do a trash talking, do respect other people. Some guys really needed this, and some people don't need it. I think I don't play this game because I really don't need to do this game, because every time I stop Octagon, I showed a good show. I propose you guys a good show, and like I said, some guys need to do trash talking. Thank God I don't need."
Well, they say a lot of times guys that do that, they're trying to psych themselves up, right, and believing in themselves. And let's be honest, you guys have all been around the block, so when a guy's talking trash, it probably doesn't even phase you. It's just like in boxing when you connect with a guy and he starts smiling. That's okay. You're hurt. That's why you're smiling. But you kind of respect those punches. So you're right. I mean, and we've seen this. I mean, let's be honest. We've seen this over the last several years, especially with a guy like McGregor that is constantly. He is. Let me market myself, right? As if he needs to market himself more. But it works for some people. It doesn't always work for other people.
Yeah, like I'm that guy. Don't work for me because I'm not that guy. You know? I have a 3-year-old kid. I have to be an example for him.
Right.
I have a lot of friends in Brazil. I have my mom, my daddy. I can't play this game.
Muay Thai is that your primary discipline? The Muay Thai.
Yeah, that's my background.
Because I see a lot of Brazilian fighters. I mean, we always talk about the jiu-jitsu, but a lot of Muay Thai they start very early. Do you believe that is the next? Maybe, I don't want to say niche sport to kind of start to come on the scene? Do you get that sense that Muay Thai, we see it a lot over in the Asias and over in Europe, a lot in Europe, a lot in Croatia, but do you get the sense that that sport become a little more popular in the States?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so, because I love this sport. I love kickboxing. I love Muay Thai, and I opened the gym a couple years ago in Florida, and the gym got full, crazy, fast.
Yeah.
Because, everybody love kickball. Everybody love punch and kick and throw elbow, knees. And it get popular over here more and more. I'm very happy.
Well, I know in New York, I don't know if they passed it, but I don't know, and you can obviously tell me more. I don't remember this doing the fights up there, but the elbows, they weren't prohibited, or they?
Yeah, I think you can throw elbow in.
You can throw,
in New York.
It gets nasty in there. Yes. But there's always a sign of respect with the fighters, no matter what, especially towards the end, or a lot of times before the fight when they walk around the ring and they're kind of just paying homage. There's always that respect there.
Yeah, I think that's the most important, especially for professional guys. I was there to do my job, That's the most important.
Well, what do you think about your opponent, Kevin Lee? Have you done anything differently with training? I know, a lot of people think this will be another relatively easy fight for you. I know I'm not putting words in your mouth, and you're not going that direction, but how about your scouting report on Kevin Lee? I mean, what are some of his strengths?
He's a great fighter, He's the top 10. He one of the best in the world. His last fight is for the title shot, and that's making me happy, man. You have to give him opportunity to fight with the best guys. I'm one of the best too. I train very hard, like always. I think I do really nothing different. Just training harder than ever. I try every camp. I try pushing me a little bit more, and I promise you guys, guys gonna see the best Edson Barboza step at Octagon.
Well, he and again, you think he comes into this fight with a little more of a chip on his shoulder because he was pretty close to win an interim lightweight championship. You go back to last October. Now, maybe he's looking at you as that stepping stone because you're coming off some big wins. He's coming off some big wins. So you know he's going to bring it. He's going to give you everything that he possibly has.
Yes, I hope he's coming hard. You know?
He better, right?
Yeah,
we don't need another quick
coming
fight.
hard. Yeah, I hope he's coming hard. I hope have a good camp, come 100% because I will be there 100%. And like I said, I love to propose to you guys a big war, and I really hope it's Saturday night, April 21st, and I show the big war.
Yeah, and that'll be, as Edson mentioned, April 21st. Tickets for UFC Fight Night, they will be, actually, they are available right now. Boardwalk Hall go on sale last Friday, so definitely go online. You can definitely get all the information for the tickets. Where do you see the state right now? When you talk about, see, people, and I'm sure you can appreciate this, a lot of times when someone says, I don't say they get confused when they say UFC or MMA, but someone's always like, oh, you do UFC. It's mixed martial arts. I'm sure you've been, they probably said that to you 1,000 times, right? You're like, well, no, it's MMA, it's mixed martial arts. But where do you see the state right now of UFC and how it's grown over the last 5, 6, 7, 8, even the last decade? I mean, because now we're starting, and I don't know, I'll ask you about the whole McGregor and Mayweather thing in a second, but how about the state of UFC right now with some of the younger fighters, a lot of marketable guys, and a lot of sensational fighters out there?
Man, it's funny because it's happened with me all the time. In crazy because this happened to me in Brazil. A lot of, especially the old peoples. Oh, did you fight UFC? No, I'm fighting mixed martial arts.
Exactly.
MMA. Yeah, man, it's get bigger and bigger. I think that's the sport in the future. Everybody like to see great fights. It's funny to sit down and watch the two people's fight. It's funny, And UFC getting bigger and bigger. I really hope that's the sport in the future. I think this sport is gonna be the #1 sport in the world. I believe.
Did you shell out the close to $100 to watch Mayweather McGregor? Did you watch that?
No, it's funny. I watch because I go to do appearance. Somebody pay me to watch.
You know what? Lucky you. Lucky you.
Me, I definitely no,
yeah,
watch
exactly.
that fight.
Lucky. Well, what did you make of? Listen, we know if you stick Floyd in the cage in the octagon, any boxer, and I know there's a lot of boxers that want to give mixed martial arts a try. And I've also seen a lot of MMA fighters like Jarrell Miller. He did a ton of kickboxing for years. Now he's a heavyweight, a young kid out of New York. So he's able to make that transition because he's a heavyweight, he's young, and he's got punching power. But what was your overall, everyone knew it was an event, right?
Yeah.
And they cashed in on it. You can't take it serious, but I'll say this, to Conor's credit, I was shocked that he actually landed. I was pretty confident. I didn't think he was going to land anything, but he was able to hang in there.
Yeah, he's doing well, especially for that money. I think if somebody pay you that money,
well, that's what I was saying.
Doesn't matter, man. I think if you put gloves on you say, "Oh, I want to pay this much. You want to do show?
I said the same thing. I can't
a good
fault
show
somebody.
for sure." But he doing well. He doing well.
That's why I was saying before when we were talking about the football in the NFL. That, when these athletes, you can't begrudge them for wanting to get paid.
Yep.
Again, if somebody told you, listen, this is who you're going to fight and you're going to get this, or you have an opportunity to fight so-and-so and now you're going to get this purse, what are you going to say, no?
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's funny. I remember the night, like I said, I just watched because somebody paid me to watch. Because if nobody pay me, I probably stay home and sleep for sure.
I'm not going to ask what they paid you, but I hope it was worth it. Where do you see yourself going forward? I know fighters never like to look ahead past their opponent, but how active would you like to be this calendar year? And kind of, are you eyeing up any potential other opponents down the road, or first things first, April 21st against Lee?
Yeah, of course, my focus 100% in my next fight, but I'm feeling close to the title shot, man. I'm #4 in the world. I feel if I win this fight, in my next couple fights, I will be chance to do the title fight.
Is there one guy though? I mean, obviously at the top, but I mean,
Yeah, I have a two guy, Khabib and Ferguson. I lose for those guys,
Yeah.
and I want to fight those guys. I want the rematch with those guys.
Yeah.
I hope UFC give me a chance to fight with him.
you think you will?
those guys.
You'll get that depending upon what you do in April.
Sorry?
You think you'll get that rematch depending upon what you do in April?
Maybe. Why not?
Yeah.
Definitely be ready for one of those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That I was looking at this card, and like I said, a lot of these guys I remember. Some of these fighters from Rock, some of these fighters from CFFC. I know Sterling's got a brother as well. Diego Santos. He's another. He's one of your brethren from Brazil as well. He's a good fighter. Diego Santos.
Yeah, Thiago Santos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thiago's
it's really tough.
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
I mean, because he's got a very he's a smart fighter. He's got a solid ground game, but he also has a really good stand up game.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
But he's fight with David Brand. my
I know.
friend.
Yeah, tough kid out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was last Saturday with him, and he's such a nice guy.
Well, he's
and
he's
that's gonna
top
be
10
a big-
top 10 middleweight, right? I mean,
Yeah,
both these fighters
both
are
guys,
ranked.
both top 10.
Yeah.
And my friend Corey Anderson's fight too, my training partner.
Yeah, Sterling's a good fighter too.
Yeah, that's
Aljamain
gonna
Sterling.
Be, yeah, it's gonna be a
He's got a personality to him.
yeah,
Right. So when you're not training and obviously you're not fighting, I mean, when there's a little bit of downtime, a lot of stuff with the family. You mentioned you got a family. Are there any things, of interest, hobbies you like to travel? I know it's tough, but what do you do outside of fighting?
Man, I do anything with my family. Everything with my family. My mom, my wife and my son. Whatever my wife say, let's do this. When out the fight, I try to stay with my son and my wife more as possible.
How old's your son again?
He turned 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years old. I try, stay full time with my son and my wife.
This might be a goofy question. Does your wife watch you fight?
Yeah, me and my wife sit together for almost, I think, 14 years together, and she stayed right on my side for a long time. She's one of my coach. She stayed on my side full time. Last couple of fights she don't watch because you have to take care of the baby. But right now, probably this one, she said, I want to come back watch your fight.
So fast forward, say when your son is 7 or 8, and he gets a better idea what daddy does, and maybe he watches a little bit. What if he comes to you and says, "Okay, teach me this"?
Oh, at the same time, I think I would be very happy, but at the same time, it was, oh no.
And then the other answer is, let me check with mom.
yeah, definitely. Because if I hear my mom, probably and I'll be here right now. A couple years ago, but she's happy. My mom is happy right now too. To
Good.
Be here.
Well, listen, keep up the great success. And now, I asked you where you guys are going later. I know you got an interview coming up with the press, and you're going to go to the Sixers and the Pacers game. Then I asked you if you ever saw a basketball game. You mentioned Miami. You mentioned the Heat.
Yes, Miami Heat. When I moved to US, first I moved to Florida, South Florida, and everybody, okay, you're Miami Heat. And you Miami Dolphins, they'll say, okay, I'm a Miami Heat, I'm a Miami
because
Dolphins.
you probably didn't follow those sports. And
Exactly.
you probably grew up playing, or probably played soccer.
Yes, exactly. I was played soccer in Brazil and loved to watch soccer. But my friends from Florida say, oh, you're Dolphins. They'll say, yes, I'm a Dolphins. Oh, you're Miami Heat. So, yeah, I'm a Miami Heat. But that's funny.
Who'd you follow in soccer growing up?
Sorry?
I mean, obviously in Brazil, who are your players? Pele, come on, right?
Yes, but right now I have a
Neymar.
Neymar.
Neymar, yeah. What about Marta? Years ago, Marta with the Brazilian team.
Yeah, she's the best. It's funny because have a lot of really good girls in Brazil, but the girls don't have a really good support.
Yeah,
Just the guy ever looking for the men. But
they're wonderful when they play. I mean, the precision passing. It's almost like watching how they play in Europe a lot of times. They don't take a lot of risk, a lot of chances, but it's a lot of ball control.
Yeah.
What do you think of Ronaldo?
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Is he better than Messi?
No. I think Messi is more magic.
Yeah. He's so small,
Yeah,
though.
so small. It's so hard for me because I'm Brazilian. Messi is from Argentina. It's hard to say that, but Messi is the best guy I ever seen in my life.
Really?
Play soccer.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, see, I tell you what. See, you got to dive into these fighters. They know, especially the guys coming over from Brazil. That's smart. You go right away to Miami, so you're hanging out with all the Cubans, and right away, and you got to go with the Miami Heat no matter what. And then tonight you get to watch a little NBA. You get to watch the Sixers. So I'm sure you're hungry. You got to eat some more lettuce when you get out of here, right? I told you that's what it's tough to watch. Cutting weight's horrible. Yeah. Are you grumpy when you cut weight? Are you a grumpy person? Are you like, or you're just like...
Not really. Not really. Everybody said I was mad, but I think myself say, no, I'm still fine. But definitely that's the hard part of the game, cutting weight.
I'll leave you with this. What is your post meal? So when, say you win April right away, what are you going to have the next day? You going to have a little arepa? You like arepa or no? No, arepa is good. It's the dough and the ham and the cheese. Yeah. They make it in Brazil. It's more Venezuelan, but
maybe.
Arroz con pollo, your chicken and rice.
That's try to eat some pasta, something heavy to make me feel
nice
full.
Hamburger.
Yeah,
nice steak.
Not really, not much steak, but pasta.
Pasta.
Makes me feeling full.
You got enough of those places in Atlantic City. So, Edson, listen, I appreciate a couple moments. The best of luck. We appreciate you making some time. The best of luck against Lee come April 21st, and hopefully we can get you back down here again, my friend. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. Sorry, my English, guys. I give my best. Believe
listen, you're fine.
Listen,
you're absolutely fine. Trust me. I get killed because I talk too fast on the air, so don't worry about it. You were fine. You were very good. We appreciate it.